Hi, everybody. I hope you had a great Easter. We've got a lot going on. Looks like we're on the eve of reopening the United States of America. And let's hope that all goes well. There's a lot of resistance. To the president. But we'll get into that. Let's just say I hope you all are well. Thanks for stopping by the channel. I really appreciate it. Bad news is half of America is still kind of in a trance. They're scared. They've been scared into submission. God bless them. You can't blame people for being scared by the media. Boy, they know their business. They're in the fear business, and they do it well. They really do it well. The cool thing about that is that the mainstream media is now having to walk back all this fear. I think we're on day like 29 or 30. So we've been doing this for a month. Okay? So like after 27 days of fear, on the 28th day, they started to put the pieces back in where they should. First, they had to admit that hydroxychloroquine, it's safe, it's effective. We've been using it for decades. There's no question about this stuff. Yeah, there's risk. Yeah, there's risk in everything. You know, you pick up one of the inserts to one of these, anxiety medications. Those things will cause suicide, among other things. You know, they'll cause your body to shut down. They'll cause your brain to shut down or malfunction. It's just not fair, guys. You know, hydroxychloroquine was used for many years. A survey was taken early on, and it was the number one choice of doctors when they're going to treat this COVID-19 problem. So, you know what? I did find something from Mark Dice. I couldn't find it, but he found it. And he found CNN having to say it. Let's listen.
Now to a little bit of hope. We are now seeing promising new and early data from China about how hydroxychloroquine, which is used to treat malaria, lupus, and rheumatoid arthritis, could help coronavirus patients recover from the virus faster. Researchers say their testing groups have shown patients with reduced fevers and coughing when they are on the drug.
Okay, so right there is CNN saying everything that we've been trying to say for 4 weeks. And here's how they work. They hammer the president for 27 days. And on the 28th day, yeah, you know, that seems to work. Okay, moving on. And they give it a real quick whoosh, and it's gone. So most of the people saw the previous 27 days. And on the 28th day, they said, oh, well, it's working pretty good. Okay, here's another good example. New York City. Guess what? There are plenty of beds. There are plenty of masks. There are plenty of ventilators. And Cuomo, again, I had to go on. I was looking, there's so much footage of Cuomo just blah, blah, blahing about nothing. I couldn't even find the part where he says these things out loud. I saw it in a clip, but I never could find it. Again, because for 27 days, that guy comes on TV whining about everything, doesn't want to play ball, wants to take the opposite stance on whatever narrative is happening at the White House. It's so sad. It's disgusting. It's hard to deal with. It's hard to deal with all this politicization, and the Democrats politicizing this thing. Ooh, you are on slippery slope now. You are on unsure footing, to say the least, because now people's lives are at risk. You know, I remember early on the same people telling you to go to the movies and go to the parade and basically quit being such a crybaby, that this so-called COVID coronavirus thing was not a threat to the American people. Okay? That's what they said. I made a video. Go look at my video. I have them on TV, literally telling you, go to the movies. Well, we're not going to the movies now, are we? Not for a month we haven't gone to the movies. And meanwhile, they're criticizing Trump for banning travel from these highly infected regions. Using the R word again and again and again. The R word, the R word. I'm sick of that word. It doesn't even mean anything anymore. Thank you, Democrats. Because, I'm old enough to remember the 70s and the 80s and basically the 90s where we didn't have much racism. I mean, there's always a few nutballs out there. But you know what? Only now has it been rekindled to fight the orange man. So, another good news. The numbers that they're giving you about the deaths that are going to occur from this, completely ridiculous, completely overblown, and they're having to walk all that back too. Here's a good reason. This is super good news. Dr. Birx. Do you know who this lady is? Oh, she's that nice lady who's always got a scarf on, and she's sitting there at that. Look at her face behind the president. She doesn't know whether to smile or not. Her brother is Rosenstein. Rod Rosenstein, the number 2 guy behind Mueller. That piece of work who wanted to wear a wire and trap the president. Oh, yeah. They're brother and sister, guys. And so that makes this lady highly suspect to me. Listen to what she says. It's just the stupidest thing I've ever heard right here. Here's the proof. Here's all the proof on why the numbers are high. So dumb.
There are other countries that if you had a pre-existing condition,
like a bad heart,
and let's say the virus caused you to go to the ICU and then have a heart or kidney problem.
Let me get this straight right now. A symptom of the COVID virus is not destroy your heart or destroy your liver or kidney or whatever she just said. That's not what it does. Okay, it attacks your immune system. It attacks your respiratory system, of course. So people who are compromised have a hard time with this and influenza, and but I don't remember them chalking it up to the flu. If you go in with a bad heart, and that means you had a bad heart and you died of complications. Okay, this is just a virus. But again, they need those numbers to go up to make us look like crap on the world stage. Excuse my language.
Some countries are recording that as a heart issue.
Yeah, it was a heart issue. It came in as a heart issue.
COVID-19 death. Right now, we're still recording it, and
the
great thing about having forms that come in and a form that has the ability to mark it as COVID-19 infection.
Yeah. Comment below, does anybody know how many viruses we fight off a day or a year or something like that we don't really have symptoms from or very mild symptoms from? So, I bet you there's a bunch of viruses out there. I wonder how many strains of viruses are. You know what? This is going to unleash tons of information.
The intent is right now that if someone dies with COVID-19, we are counting that as a COVID-19 death.
Boo.
The intent is right
How
now.
How are you supposed to accurately deal with this thing if we put
we are counting that
every complication
as a COVID-19 death? The intent is right now.
Yeah, whoever created this little video, they're repeating the same thing, so you get the message here. That doesn't work. Okay, almost every death in Italy, and that was really what they were looking at right away. It was way over 99% died from something because the combination of that thing and COVID made things fall apart. I mean, but I really don't understand, so, I guess I want to ask a question, and I was hoping maybe you'd leave it in the comments what you think. If New York City turned out to be the #1 hotspot in the world, and they're saying it did, is someone to blame? Should someone be held responsible? And who is that someone? I believe that this area got infected because people weren't doing their job at the time. And geez, I hope it's just that much, because otherwise, you know, they wouldn't let people get infected to make Trump look bad later, would they? I mean, they wouldn't do that, would they? Comment down below. Let's see. I want to leave. I want you to look at Dr. Fauci, and I want you to hear what he said just 2 years ago.
Given, as you heard from the introduction, that I have been around for a while and have had the opportunity and the privilege and the pleasure of serving in 5 administrations, I thought I would bring that perspective to the topic today, is the issue of pandemic preparedness. And if there's one message that I want to leave with you today, based on my experience, and you'll see that in a moment, is that there is no question that there will be a challenge to the coming administration in the arena of infectious diseases, both chronic infectious diseases in the sense of already ongoing disease, and we have certainly a large burden of that, but also there will be a surprise outbreak. There will be a surprise outbreak. There will be
what? Wait, that's a little... How did you know that?
Outbreak. There will be a surprise outbreak.
Okay, that's creepy. It's bad enough Bill Gates gets on there 5 years ago and saying, yeah, we're going to have to deal with this at some point, and it happens relatively soon after that. I don't like that. Go look at my other videos about Bill Gates. That dude is creepy. He totally loves this guy who's... I'm not going to get into Fauci's connections with Hillary Clinton and all that stuff. That's creepy enough. Go ahead, go looking for that. But we cannot trust him. I mean, if you get out on a podium and say he's going to have a surprise outbreak, I'm sorry. There's no way. This has never happened before. And you know what? This looks like it was orchestrated. Predicted, if not orchestrated. I'll put it at that. Okay, so I'm gonna leave with the positive notes that Mr. Hannity can provide. Oh, bless his heart. Let's listen.
Breaking tonight, major signs of progress, thank God, in the fight against COVID-19. The president's bold actions, they are working tonight. And what the mob and the media will never tell you is this: the Chinese, European travel bans, the quarantines, they saved this country, your fellow countrymen and women, untold amounts of suffering, massive quantities of federal supplies. Every state is getting everything that they need in record time. Thousands of ventilators have been distributed, and we have 10,000 still plus to spare.